Okay, here we go. Right, what are we? 6:17. Just a little bit after 6:15 in the morning, and look at the sky. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. We're nearly there, aren't we? We are nearly there. You can see the wheel marks down the road, so there is some dew about, but no rain. Clear sky. Now, I don't know what this ride is going to be today. It's been a heavy week, actually, physically. We had a bit of a Skyven ride, gravel ride on Tuesday. What was that, 40 something miles? Yeah, just the guys. Wasn't a smash fest or anything like that, but you know, we put some effort in. Which was good. First time over the Purbex, actually, for some months, a couple of months at least, I would have thought, because as you know, it's been constantly raining in the UK, and it wasn't too bad. It was okay. There was a few wet bits under the trees, puddles, sludgy bits here and there, but you know, nothing that would stop you riding. And the bike wasn't too mucky by the time we got to the end. In fact, the worst bit was Wareham Forest, but Wareham Forest is always wet. There are places in Wareham Forest when even in the middle of summer, well, the light just doesn't get through the trees and stuff like that in some places. Car bag. Will he go the wrong side of the island? He might if he's in a hurry. They sometimes do. Yeah, so somebody flicked a switch, didn't they? And all of a sudden, the sun is in the sky, it stopped raining. It's almost like March the 1st was, yeah, you thought it was March and it was going to stop raining and be bright. And it did rain and it was horrible on March the 1st. But since then, it's been fantastic. Well, it certainly has here anyway. It's been perfect riding weather, really. We even had 14 degrees one day. How amazing is that? And of course, the sun is so much higher in the sky now. When the sun does come out, you can feel it. Whereas before, of course, we didn't get any of that because it was raining all the time, so it was always cloudy. So it's almost like the clouds disappeared and it's, oh look, the sun. It's a lot higher now. Taking us by surprise a little bit. Anyway, good news. And of course, the best thing for me is that, of course, the sun and the slightly warmer weather, and drier weather, has to be said, has encouraged Julie. She is now quite happy to jump on a bike, go places, do things. Yeah, we got Mallorca coming up in about 7 weeks, but honestly, she just comes alive, you know. She's had her winter, sun's up, you know, there's a bit of warmth in the air, and yeah, we've been out several times this week, a couple of times actually, obviously at the weekend, but also we've done a breakfast run and a couple of chores around town. Yeah, so she's all of a sudden perked up, which I think so many of us do, don't we? Once it gets warm. Now, do you know what? I've tweaked the position on this bike a little bit. Some strange things have happened over the last couple of weeks. I can't quite explain it yet. But effectively, none of my bikes fit anymore. What is that? And I know I've lost weight. Less of a hanging undercarriage, let's say, with my stomach and that when I'm on the bike. But I don't know, yeah, something weird. Anyway, I'm going to concentrate for a moment. All right. I bet you're glad of the dry weather, aren't you now?
Oh God, yeah. Bad bloody time.
Isn't it just, isn't it? I do feel for the commuters, I must admit. Bike up. Yeah, very short sequence on this one, so they will get the green, I would have thought, before I get there. Yeah, literally lets a couple of buses through and that's it. So, right, what have we got? We've got the hospital coming straight across. They're going, so he'll be able to go. All good. We made it. So what, yeah, just coming up to 6:30 now. Traffic is building. I'm not sure whether to stay on the road if it was a Sunday morning, I would even consider Christchurch bypass, but it's not. So I'm heading out that way. I'm probably going to go Lyndhurst actually. What have we got? Oh, actually, look at this. Look at this. Let's have that. Perfect timing. Yeah, stick it in the comments. Yeah, so last week was a 4 ride day out of 5, I think. Yeah, 4 rides in 5 days. One of them was with the legend that is Martin Peters, a road ride in the morning. It did get a bit smashy in places, I'll admit. It was great fun actually, or I thought it was. I hope Martin feels the same, because I'd love to do it again. Maybe have a bit more discipline, make it more of a controlled sort of, yeah, more zone 3, 4, not sort of threshold for 60 miles. But anyway, yeah, and during that week, yeah, something really weird happened. I jumped on the scales, 99.8 kilograms. Yes, get in. Broken the 100 kilograms. But of course, I knew that after all that sort of effort in the week, it wasn't going to stay there. And it didn't. So, I'm back up to 100.7, which is fine. I expected that because I was going to have to recover glycogen, that stuff, you know. A lot of carbohydrate, a lot of water to deal with the carbohydrate. Yeah. So I put back on over a couple of days, pretty much a full kilogram. Not disappointed. I did expect it. The trend is still down because the week before, yeah, I was on 101.5 sort of region. So in truth, 100.7 would have been the correct weight. Bumps. And this morning, I'm actually 100.9. But again, a very physical week this week. I don't have to do any arm and shoulder workouts, that's for sure. Digging trenches in the garden, putting in new soil pipes, connecting into the sewer, digging down, you know, about 4 foot. So again, swollen muscles. There we go. Bumpy along here. Yeah. Water retention. Yeah, still okay with that. I'm still in deficit, so none of it is fat. It's all water weight, or according to the scales it is. What have we got behind? No, we're all right. Bumps. Yeah, I'm not going to screen down the bypass. There's too much traffic. Second half of the bypass is 70 mile an hour. So I shall duck out into Waitrose car park. Car coming round. Come on, let's get it. Yep. I'll go along the bike path. You can get off here, but it's a real faff. But if I get off here, I maintain priority and then I can just cross. Yep. I have to say, we do use the bypass from time to time. Usually on the morning of the Isle of Wight ride. It's a Sunday, it's a bank holiday, no traffic. Yeah, we see 2 cars come past. You know, that's a lot of traffic on that day. It is fun. My kind of thing, obviously. Very pedally. Head down, tail up. Just pedal, pedal, pedal. And of course there is that anxiety that any cars that do come along will be whooshing past at 70 miles an hour, which seems to add to the energy. And of course they give you a tow as they go past. Whoosh, and they just draw you along somehow. Now, of course, on the gravel bike, I would have just shot across there. There's nothing coming, but come on, road bike. Let's not. Oh, hello. Oh, we did okay there anyway, actually. Perfect. Yeah, so I suppose headline news, I did dip below 100 kg just for a day. And over the last week I've put most of it back on, well, half of it back on, let's say. Just through natural body processes. The scale says that the fat content percentage is still very low, or low for me. Muscle percentage is stable. It is just water weight. A little bit of a draggy false flat up to here. I think the ride home is going to be somewhat yeah, more difficult into the wind, I'm sure. What have we got? Shall I go this way? I'll tell you what, I'm going to go this way because I want to make a loop of it. I was thinking I'd go out and back through the forest, but no, let's make a loop of it. I know the roads aren't so good this way and there's going to be traffic, but it's not wet, there's not going to be spray, conditions are a bit better. I've got lights front and back. I've got reflective elements on my feet, on my legs, on my back. So there are going to be moving parts in the lights. Let's hope that's enough. Right, this takes us down to Water Ditch Ford. Yeah, it's a dead end, so you don't really get any traffic along here. Sometimes dog walkers will park at the end. That's ideal, really. Morning. Now there will be water in the Ford, and this one is slimy. So keep the wheels straight until you get through. I could go over the bridge actually. Let's see how deep it is. It might have gone right down actually with no rain the last sort of 3 or 4 days. And I'll tell you what, we found gravel. Come on, Mr. Blackbird. Right, this should be dry. It does get wet and boggy, but we should be okay through here. Yeah, whoop. Oh well, a little bit of bike cleaning required. I'm not going to get away with it completely. Birds are singing. Bloody wonderful, isn't it? Okay, let's go up and over, shall we? We could use the crossing, but a bit of urban cyclocross, what's wrong with that? It is a road bike. Albeit an endurance road bike, but it is a road bike, so slightly shorter wheelbase, a bit more manageable on tight corners. Not quite cyclocross bike manageable on tight corners, but let's gloss over that. Cyclocross bikes are very much built. Woo! Oh yeah. talk about that in a minute. But yeah, cyclocross bikes are very much built for a purpose, aren't they? And even though you can do it, they're not really built for endurance road rides, are they? Not like endurance road bikes and gravel bikes are. Because everybody says gravel bikes are just 90s mountain bikes with drop bars. That seems to be the thing, doesn't it? Well, that means that endurance road bikes are just 90s mountain bikes with drop bars that are like gravel bikes but with narrower tyres. That would be the natural progression, wouldn't it? Because there's very little difference in geometry between my giant Revolt and this Merida Endurance, other than, yes, it's got slightly more stable forks on it. But yeah, everything else ain't far off, you know. I've made it different on purpose. Shorter stem, wider bars, a bit more control on the mucky stuff. 45mm tyres. While this bike is 38cm bars, 110mm stem, as opposed to the Revolt, which has got an 80mm stem. Again, nice and short, control. Yeah, so I definitely notice the difference when I go from one bike to the other. But when I'm out the saddle like this, my knees do go between the bars. On both bikes. Which brings me on to fit. Yeah, not fitness. Bike fit. Very strange. I'm not going to say weight, I'm going to say shape. So the last time I was out on this bike, last few times, actually, otherwise I wouldn't have taken any notice really. It's hurt. Shoulders. I don't know. I did speak about how I'm always sitting up and holding the tops. No, I don't think it's difficult for anybody to believe that nearly all of the weight I have shifted has been off the top half of me, you know. the manly man gut, and certainly under the armpits and places like that, I have yeah, really emptied out, let's say. So you would think, wouldn't you, that my top half being lighter, my arms and my neck wouldn't be a problem. You know, I'm holding myself up, I've got bent arms, I'm quite relaxed, but not quite. No, if anything, I feel myself toppling forwards now and having to hold myself up more. And that's on both bikes. Whereas I never used to touch the tops at all, now on both bikes that's the comfortable position. I expected to go the other way. I seem to be sitting lower and having to tilt my head up more and getting neck ache, which is crazy because the bikes haven't got any longer. I don't think I've got any shorter. Maybe I have. But it's possible, of course, that that gut was holding me up somehow, or helping to hold me up. Maybe my diaphragm and muscles in the ribs, the intercostal muscles, are a bit slacker where I've emptied out, I don't know. Maybe the bottom of my gut was resting against my pelvis, therefore sort of supporting me a little bit, I don't know. I can't come up with a good reason. Yeah, so there you go. Neither bike really fits me properly anymore, or do I just need to strengthen up and adjust? I don't know. But when I get out the saddle, my knees do go between the bars down here, next to the stem. So I don't think I can go to a size small. I just don't know. I don't know where to start on that one, but the gravel bike is slightly more upright with the shorter stem anyway. Like for like, the reach is about the same. The reach to the bars, that is. I'm not talking bike frame technical measurements here. Yeah, so if I put 110mm stem and narrower bars on the gravel bike, the reach to the hood would be about the same. Very little in it, 2 or 3 millimeters by my reckoning, or that of a Stanley tape measure. Oh, it's quiet. Should I just get on the New Milton Road? It's not a nice road, but it saves a lot of faffing about and corners and junctions. Once I'm through these first couple of corners, actually it's quite straight, good visibility. You gonna go, mate? Go on. Well done. Hey. All clear behind at the minute. I could see lights through the trees, but they're not close yet. Come on, up we go. Oh, headwind. The wind's going the wrong way. What's going on? Hole. That's better. Whoops. Glove. Yeah, glove seam still hits the wrong lever sometimes. It's just on the edge of my finger. Still, with the way the weather's going, gloves will not be an issue soon. I've already had a couple of rides without. Just great. Just putting less gear on feels great. So anyway, I've tweaked this bike, the fit. Obviously, what I've done, slam the stem, put the seat post up 2 inches. Everything seems to be about right now. Yeah, actually, I guess because I don't have quite so much gut hanging down, I have actually lowered the seat post. I don't have the old issue of going over the top and my legs lifting my belly out of the way. So I put the seat post down about 10 mil. And I've taken 5 mil out at the front. So saddle to bar drop is reduced by 5 mil. The bike is slightly lower at the front and a little bit more than slightly lower at the back. So we'll see what happens today. But at the moment, so far so good, let's say. Legs are not complaining. That's the one I'm worried about. It's obviously lower seat, greater bend in the legs, pushing from a slightly more bent position. I don't know how much difference it'll actually make in the real world. I think this is just bike fitter chat, isn't it? I'm not looking for optimum here. Go on, get out of the way. I'm looking for comfortable, repeatable, consistent. Or maybe that's just the way it goes as you get older. seat goes down, the bar drop isn't quite as deep. I don't know. But anyway, so far it feels fine. That said, I've only done 11 miles. So we'll see. We'll see. Whoop. Get the road to ourselves. It is now 7 AM. They could have gone, couldn't they? Kind of wish they had. They turned off. I expected there to be a car the other side, which is why I took the lane. There will be now, so that's fine. I'm going to stay out until there's room. Chilly down here. It always is though. Up we go. Right. Where are you going? You're shaping up for left. Well done. You can never be sure. Sometimes it might just be going wide to turn right. Some people do when the road's empty. They feel they can do it a bit quicker in a wide arc, but yeah, he looked for all the world like he was shaping up to stay left. Well, it's supposed to be temperatures in the double figures again today. 12, 13. Yesterday was, I don't know, 14, 15. Working out in the garden, digging trenches. Nothing behind me. Yeah, so we've got a couple of, well, it's one big project really, a couple of active retirement or AR projects. The craft room is done, pretty much. Julie's found places for everything, and instead of loads of trip hazards on the floor, which is what it used to look like, everything is now tidy and put away. It can be expanded on if needed, but I'm kind of hoping there's enough storage now for the different materials and tools and what have you that we both need, that it will stay as it is, and we will actually start using up some of those materials before replacing them. That's the general idea anyway. We'll see. That is the plan. In the garden, I've got a sort of a pergola I don't know what you'd call it actually, next to a covered area where we can have outdoor seating. I might put in a pizza oven. Definitely going to have a water supply and a sink. I've created a jet wash area for the bikes that goes straight into a new gully. I was fitting another gully yesterday, so I was digging down to the sewer pipe. So it's going to be, yeah, get this, an outdoor toilet. I mean, it's like we're going back in time, isn't it? But that's okay. Yeah, with a sort of workbench where Julie can put her pots and things like that for planting seedlings. We've dug the veg patch over, or Julie has. I sifted some topsoil out of the trench I dug. Yeah, it's good. Moving forwards, as it were. Right, car coming up behind me. Let's stay out slightly because of the bumps. Can't go past me round the bend anyway. Okay. All yours. He'd have had to have been ready there, wouldn't he? And the Audi didn't look forwards, just pulled straight out. That was nasty for a minute, wasn't it? I mean, the pickup always had time to avoid, but this is a main road. Why would you just pull straight out without checking both ways? Well, no sign of neck ache just yet. Well, we're flying along, aren't we? So far so good, let's say. Right, I saw a car on the left here. That's a gate anyway. Yay! Got the road all to myself, blimey! This is what happens though, isn't it? As the days get longer, mornings get lighter, I can get out earlier. Less traffic. Right, hole. Lorry. Whee. I seem to remember last time we came through here, this corner had been fixed, but only the first half. I don't know, it's still a bit rubbish. Morning. Hole! Okay, what we got? Oh, look at this. Early morning delight. Morning. Yes. Haven't got a filter, have we? No, doesn't matter which light I look at. Okay. Downhill for the next bit, so I'll get out early so the bus can see me. Yeah, so we'll keep the legs turning, just keep them warm, soft pedal, a little bit of recovery. So I'll be honest, I'm feeling great right now. I think the chilly air helps as well, doesn't it? I feel warm, but I know the air around me is keeping me from getting over warm, let's say. I do have a neck buff on. I might need to lose that at some point. I've got a thin underlayer with long arms. Ha! I just remembered, I haven't turned on the heart rate monitor. So all of that was, yeah, good morning. All of that was by feel so far. And it felt pretty good actually. Yeah, okay. Oh, we've got a train going through, so I will filter. Morning. Because we want to see the train, don't we? There it is. It is on, but it's not connecting. Never mind. I've got the Garmin. Doing the heart rate anyway. It's been one of those days actually, all mornings. I've had to go back upstairs for something 3 times this morning. Instead of just grabbing everything in one go. Of course, Julie's still in bed, so. And the last time was in my cycling shoes, so. That can be difficult, can't it? trying to be quiet in cycling shoes. That said, most of the upstairs is carpet. Craft room is laminate floor for obvious reasons. Easy to clean, sweep, and the floor becomes a workbench when required. So yeah, I haven't been exactly on it, let's say, this morning. But here we are, still spinning away. Holes everywhere. Still wet out here. Wow. Look at that sun. I'm concentrating a bit because I can't actually see the road. So the holes and the bumps are coming up fast. But okay once it dips behind the hedge. It. Turning away from the sun now. Should be okay. Whoop. So Boulder, Bewley, that sort of area. And then across the forest to Lyndhurst. I'll be way too early for wood cyclery. I don't think they open till 9, half 8, 9, don't know. It's only 7:30, 25 past. Plus I got quite a lot to do at home today. I need to concrete in the new gully. Check that all the joints stayed stayed good last night and there's no leaks. You know, clay to plastic, not always fun. Yeah, backfill, and that's that. Leave that to set, and that's me out of the ground. Well, yeah, still water here. I mean, it hasn't rained for, what, 4 days now? So that must have been pretty bad. I did think about coming this way a few times. I'm glad I didn't. Homemade flapjack. Oh, it's lovely and warm. Yeah, so nutrition. Oh God, it's about to get boring. If it hasn't already. Yeah, salt. Now there's a thing. We're told salt is bad, aren't we? We're told to hydrate. Well, ChatGPT is telling me to put more salt in my food because I'm not eating the ultra processed foods anymore, so I'm not getting an ungodly amount of salt in my diet anymore. I'm not having to overhydrate to make up for all the chemicals, salt, sugar and rubbish that comes in food now. I'm not eating gels or, you know, protein bars or energy bars or anything like that. Everything I eat, all right, I'll get a caveat that in a minute, but everything I eat at the moment, I've made myself, nothing out of a packet. The only thing is whey powder. Everything else, yeah, not processed. Well, depends how you look at the word processed, doesn't it? I'm adding frozen berries to whey powder shakes. You could argue that frozen berries are processed, but they are still just the berries. Yeah, so even though ChatGPT is telling me to hydrate, it's telling me you don't have to hydrate as much as you think, because obviously I always upload recipes and things like that after I've made them, mostly so I can reference them if I want to make something again, just to refresh my memory. And going by the body composition, water content in the body, salt I'm adding to food. He's actually said up the salt, reduce the hydration slightly, trying to hit that perfect balance. It seems to work. We'll see what happens as the weather gets warmer. Obviously lose a bit more in the way of electrolytes and salts in sweat. We'll see what happens. Yeah, there's very little sugar in my diet now. Carbohydrate comes from other sources. That said, these flapjacks have a lot of salt and a lot of fat. But of course, I'm not looking for out and out performance. I'm looking for metabolic fat burning. And apparently it's working. Yeah, so what I don't want is for all the carbs to go in one go and get burnt up instantly. I want some fat to go down with it to slow it. And this is, you know, not me. This is ChatGPT telling me. You know, I'm no expert on this. But yeah, so if I can have fibres and fats with my carbohydrate, that will slow down any sugar spikes and slow down energy burn at a metabolic level or something like that, and I will burn more fat even though I've got carbs available, and GCN says carbs, carbs, carbs. That's all you need, which is bollocks apparently, unless you're a top end pro, in which case that is the way you've trained your body to perform. I certainly have not done that. So I need my body to burn fat because that's what I'm trying to get rid of. If I train it to only burn sugar, the fat stays, doesn't it? That kind of makes sense to me. Now, of course, scientifically, that may not be correct, but that's the way I see it. So I'm more than happy to follow along with that logic. It sort of makes sense to me. Now I'm going quite well here, obviously. When I get back and upload the ride and the amount of flapjack and stuff and fluids, he'll say, oh, I see, you went out and did threshold again. That's not what I said. That's fine by me. Yes. Now, as I drop the fat bit by bit and I have less of it, oh well, there's a donkey there, then obviously I may need to rely more on carbohydrate. But as things stand right now, that isn't necessary. I need to keep burning fat. So long rides should be slower than this, I'm guessing. But long rides at reduced speed, a bit like Sunday when I went out with Julie, 60 miles, slow pace. That was perfect. If I did that twice a week, I'd basically be skinny as a rake, or whatever you want to call it. Oh, sun. Yes, I do need to get some longer, slower rides in. I mean, obviously, I'm able to talk to you right now, but yeah, I do think I'm probably putting in a bit too much effort for fat burning. Bloody hell, it's wet here. Hole. chilly. That is freezing. It was 8 degrees, feels like 7 when I left home. Yeah, this feels like 3. Anyway, we'll start climbing again in a minute. Get away from the water. I am in bib shorts, so my knees are not happy right now. Holes here, I'm staying out. Oh no, I'm all right behind actually. They're staying away. I thought they were closer than that. There we go, National Motor Museum. I assume the monorail still runs. That was always fun. I've been there, what, twice when I was younger? Not in my adult years, it has to be said. All clear behind me now. They must have turned off at the Motor Museum. Right, come on then, let's get up and out of here. So, position sit rep, let's say. The tops of my quads are a little tight. My neck is fine, arms and shoulders are fine, so that bit's cured, it seems. Maybe I'm a little bit high over the top. But it is a new position, isn't it? Do I have to give it a couple of rides to get used to it? Maybe. I'm certainly not going to change anything after today. We'll see. Not going to panic. Especially considering all the digging and walking and cycling I've been doing this week. And it's only Thursday. I haven't actually had a rest day yet, really. Right, battery check time. Will I make it across to Lyndhurst? My battery is amber. So I think I will make my usual stop ahead and just change the battery. Well, we've been going an hour and a half. Yeah, I think I'm pushing my luck, trying to reach Lyndhurst on one battery, so just before I break out into the open plain up here, I shall stop, hopefully somewhere in the sun, have another flapjack, a bit of water, and change the camera battery. Yeah, still bloody freezing, by the way, but it's getting better. I don't know if it's warming up gradually or if I'm just used to it a bit more now. There's a very sudden drop in temperature. Ooh, come on. There we go. Okay. Let's find a nice sunny spot. I won't stop just now because there's a car. Go on then. I usually stop here. Not today. I'll find somewhere sunny. Yeah, there we go. Car park just there. That'll do. Let the legs warm up. Still pretty chilly out here. Even in the sun, you can probably see there's a mist. But it is just lovely. A beautiful morning. Lots of birds singing, bright sunshine, not too much traffic. What are we, 8 o'clock now? So if we can get through Lyndhurst, there won't be too much traffic there. We'll skip through by the Ferrari garage. And then go to Milliford Bridge, up over Boulderwood. And then really we are best part of the way back to Ringwood by then. Yeah, Matcham's Lane home. That's strange. Up we go. Oh yeah, I feel it getting warm actually. A warm patch just here. I think that's what it is. Let's hope it isn't my age catching up on me. Yeah, so another rice and eggs with sweet chili sauce for breakfast this morning. About a handful of rice, about 70 grams. I have measured it a couple of times. It's usually between 60 and 70. Obviously the rice takes on water weight as it cooks. I usually warm it in a bit of olive oil in the pan, a bit of curry powder, get some of those anti-inflammatory, antioxidant spices in there and a bit of flavour. And just as it starts to bubble or fry, if you like, put the kettle of boiling water in there. I don't measure it, quite happy to flood it, and then put the timer on for 10 minutes and just leave it to bubble. I do it in one pan, to be honest, with the eggs. So when the 10-minute timer's up, I just take it out of the pan into a colander, leave it to stand. Because there's oil in the pan, it usually comes out pretty clean. So I'll chuck the eggs in, stir them up, scramble them, and chuck the rice back on top. Mix it in. Saves on the washing up. Makes it quick and simple. Easily repeatable. Takes no time at all. Chuck it in a bowl. Usually comes out at about 400 grams for everything, with a bit of sweet chili sauce over the top, about a tablespoonful. And that is my pre-ride breakfast. If it's been a hard ride, I'll make the same again, or maybe with red lentils instead of rice, and chuck a salmon fillet on with it. Extra protein, still got the carbs from the rice for glycogen recovery. I know, it almost sounds like I know what I'm doing. I don't. I just do what I'm told. I mean, some of it is just common sense. Some of it you just think, yeah, that makes sense, I'm going to do that. The other thing, you learn by feel, don't you? You eat certain things, do certain things. You feel strong, like you've got energy. You repeat it. You don't need ChatGPT to tell you how good you feel. Right. It's bloody chilly here, actually. It was warming up back there, not here. So that's my pre-ride breakfast. Usually have it at least, well, as early as I can actually. Today it was only an hour, earlier leaving time and all that. But I'm still doing the old man wake up times, 4:30, sometimes earlier. So I'm definitely giving my body time to clear all the hormones. Yes. So of course when you wake up, doesn't matter if you're a morning person or not, your body dumps hormones into the system to get you going. So I do tend to try and leave it for an hour before eating, just let everything calm down, settle down. And that seems to work. And of course, as the days get brighter in the mornings, the old man waking up time will be an advantage. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what that's all about, because I don't seem to be waking up in need of an old man wee in the middle of the night, like I know some people do. It just seems to be my waking up time. Yeah, obviously I don't think it's a problem at all. It's just the way it is. ChatGPT says it's because I'm pushing myself too hard sometimes and the nervous system doesn't get a chance to relax. I can understand that. I do get a fizz every now and then, a background fatigue. Obviously I'm still in deficit every day, pretty much. But I don't think I've broken even yet. The last 7 months. So it is cumulative sort of fatigue, especially, yeah, well, yesterday actually we went for a very easy spin. I shouldn't be doing this, that's for sure. But yeah, we went for an easy spin. I didn't really feel like eating when I got back, but I did. Digging in the garden, time gets away from you, doesn't it? Had to get everything back done before it got dark at 6. Evening meal, ended up with a 1600 calorie deficit. So to be honest, coming out this morning, pretty bloody ridiculous. But look, sun's out, it's dry. I'm sorry. It's the way it is. No, I don't do a 1600 calorie deficit every day, obviously. It was a one-off. But it's usually about 800 to 900. Sometimes as little as 4. Very rare though. It's nearly always north of 600 calorie deficit. Always. But hey, so what? I seem to be able to function on it, so I'm not craving food. That is ultimately my goal. Cyclist on. Right, let's head out through Ferrari. What we got? Yeah, all good. Good morning. Thank you very much. Yes, and you. Isn't that lovely? Yes, enjoy the sunshine. Too bloody right. Yeah, so really this is the ride that should never have happened. But you know, this is what the sunshine does to you. Blue sky, absolutely perfect blue sky. Unbelievable. How long have we waited for this? And I don't usually mind the sort of autumn, winter, but it's been so wet and so... Okay, let's get out before the lorry, thank you. Yeah, I don't really want him to catch me. That is a big lorry coming up behind me. I shall be out of the way in a moment. He won't catch me anyway. Not through here. Right, he's just coming up on me now, but I've stuck my arm out, he knows where I'm going. I feel okay actually. I'm still not quite in the habit of eating properly on the ride. It's a faff. You know, I don't want to have to deal with that. I just want to pedal, have fun, enjoy it. But I've got to teach myself, haven't I, that doing it right means I can enjoy it more. I'm not sure that works. I've tried, because enjoying it more, what does it actually mean? That I'll feel better? Because my stats will improve? I mean, where is this extra enjoyment going to come from? I think at the moment the extra enjoyment comes after the ride, because no matter how hard a ride is, I don't feel wasted afterwards. Sunday we went out on a gravel ride over the Purbex, bumpy, steep climbs, you know, fast downhills. No real consistency, let's put it that way. Not like today where I'm just pedal, pedal, pedal. But I sort of dropped down at his place. Yeah, I rode back with him. He turned off this place. So that's where I sort of dropped him off, or he dropped me off, if you like, whichever way you want to see it. And yeah, I did go for it for the last half hour home. Oh yes, big news. Not really. For the first time in a long time, I actually did a 1000 watt plus sprint. Yeah, and that was at the end of the ride. When you think, yeah, just be calming down a bit. But oh no, all of a sudden, continuous pedaling builds the energy, doesn't it? It does for me. And yeah, there's a bus at the bus stop at the top of Peters Hill. I wanted to take the right-hand turn in front of it. I could see the last of the passengers just getting on. He was holding the traffic up for me. So I smashed it up Peters Hill, took the turn just as he started to pull away. You know, plenty of room. And yes, 1067 watts. According to Strava. Ooh, that's the first time I've seen 1000 watts in a very long time. And that's on the gravel bike. My power has definitely been down, which is due to the deficit, obviously, calorie deficit and background fatigue, but I've been increasing my food level for the last month or so. I think I've been fueling better when I've been out on the bike. So I don't know about the feeling better about it, where that comes in still. I don't think so, but I am noticing improvements gradually, or not improvements, because I've sort of gone backwards in many ways. Oh, this will be cold down here, won't it? Anyway. Yeah, I've sort of been going backwards in many ways. Yeah, not badly. I mean, I've definitely been faster uphill than I used to be. I've just been slower on the flat. Obviously, gravity doesn't have quite the effect going down either, but... oh dear. If only we could have a perfect world. Yeah, so things are improving. They're leveling out. They're coming back to sort of how I once was, minus the 33 kilograms of extra weight. It's a funny thing. MBH once said to me about the weight, and he just said, "You're so bloody strong." And we sort of joked about how if I lost weight I probably wouldn't have the same power, and it kind of happened. But the thing is, it happened for metabolic reasons, not because I've lost muscle mass and I'm not as strong as I once was or anything like that. It's just because I'm tired. We're not tired, fatigued. So I do need to rebuild a bit of muscle. Not build muscle, that's the wrong word. Repair, let's say. I think I said before on another ride, apparently when you start working out, you actually repair what you've got first before you start putting extra on. So building muscle can take time. So maybe I just need to get through that first stage of repairing what I've got. That might obviously increase my metabolic rate as well, which means more food. Everything's going to have to be a balance, isn't it? I'm going to have to eat like a pigeon on low movement days and eat like a bodybuilder, or pro cyclist if you like, on high movement days. That's not something I wanted to be bothered with. But I guess I'm not a pro athlete. I have got an inefficient system because I'm older. So really, I just need to be staying away from the ultra processed foods, doing what I'm doing now. And hopefully things will balance themselves out. Anyway, I'm not at that stage yet, so let's not worry about that. Right, long slow drag up here. Yeah, the legs are complaining a little bit. I think the position's good, I'll be honest. Another couple of rides will tell me, won't it? And of course, when I talk about fit, I'm not talking about being ultra fast, efficient, just comfortable for many miles. That's what I'm looking for. I don't want a fit that makes me faster for 40 miles and then, you know, drop off after that because it's bloody uncomfortable. Sort of negates the whole purpose, doesn't it? Like today, 50-60 miles, comfort, relatively good speed, efficient. That's what we're looking for, isn't it? I mean, I'm toying with a few adventures is probably the wrong word. Challenges. We have challenges in this country, don't we? Mark's mentioned the GB Divide, the off-road one. Sounds interesting. Still haven't done the King Alfred Way, which is, you know, literally down the road from us. I've ridden sections of it. I don't know. There's no excuse now, is there? I've got time. So yeah. Maybe, just maybe, I am training for something. I just don't know what yet. I never really do anything, you know, on Chase the Sunday, on longest day of the year. Yeah. Maybe I need to come up with something for that. do that. Not doing very well here, actually. There you go, this is where the fatigue fits in. Look at that bastard. Stripped all the copper out, left the rubber at the side of the road. There's some real scumbags in this world, aren't there? Yeah, this is fatigue. I'm okay with that. That said, it's 9%. Not to be sneezed at, is it? Woo! There it is. Yeah, quads are not burning, aching a bit. I know they're there. That's unusual. Yeah, and that's faded away again, so the quads are not aching all the time, but just the top and the hip joints there, I know they exist. Let's put it that way. Nothing terrible, nothing painful, I'm just aware of them. That is unusual. Yeah, going well again now. Of course, the other thing is, when you dig a hole that's about 4 foot deep, That's a lot of bending over, isn't it? So there are reasons, other reasons, let's say, why my hips might be aching slightly this morning. Back is fine, no problem in my back. Arms and shoulders definitely seem to be more relaxed, even with the digging yesterday. So I don't think I can just say that lowering the seat has caused hip pain. Not pain, I keep saying pain, it's not. I'm just aware of it. It could possibly be the hard work from yesterday. So again, I'm not going to panic, I'm not going to change anything. I'm going to leave the bike like this for a while. Make sure the gravel bike sort of saddle height and reach and that mimics as close as it can with the different components, obviously. I mean, the saddle height makes sense, doesn't it? Because that means that I'll have the same angles up over the top. I may need to take a spacer out to lower the drop, maybe, to get the body angle similar. But I certainly won't be cutting the stem. Cutting the steerer. I don't mind putting a 1/4 inch spacer on top of the stem until I know for sure everything's good. What's this? This is 5%. I'm going up it. What am I in? 4th cog down from the top. Sorry, from the big. So middle of the cassette essentially, big ring. Don't know. Feeling fine. Maybe the flapjack's starting to kick in. $340 watts. I bloody love this bike. It's really opened my eyes to modern bike design, endurance riding, what's possible, comfort, and then this, you know? Endurance road bike. Honestly, it's the future. If you got yourself your nice, expensive, snazzy, or inexpensive race bike, and you're doing 25, 30 mile rides, maybe an endurance road bike is the bike for you. Turn them into 60 mile rides, 100 mile rides. It'd be interesting, actually, an interesting experiment. Maybe the people at Primera would lend me a Reacto. No, seriously. It would be an interesting experiment, wouldn't it? So I'm on 40 miles right now. Probably going to be just under 60 by the time I get home. Yeah, it might be interesting to do this ride on what is accepted let's say, as a faster bike. Yeah, it'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Obviously it's a bike, I wouldn't be used to the position and what have you, but to be honest, this stem is pretty much slam. There's, what, 1/4 of an inch spacer under the stem. I think it is 40 millimeters higher at the front than the Reacto Aero bike. But the Reacto does come with what looks to me at least 40 millimeters worth of of spacers. So Merida have obviously worked out that that's sort of like a good height for everyone, and then you can sort of tweak it from there. So it wouldn't be so different, so different as it comes out the box. I do like the look of them, I must admit, but I'm thinking with the possibility of some adventures ahead, I should really be looking at what I can do to the gravel bike. I'm quite happy to ride the Giant for many, many miles, off-road or otherwise. I don't mind. It's fantastically comfortable. Yeah, it's not it's not like the new Revolt carbon fiber version. It's light, efficient, all those extra benefits you get with carbon fiber when it comes to riding efficiency. Obviously, let's not go into strength and comfort and all the other things, but I think the main difference between this and the Revolt and the Tri-Ban is really the efficiency. Yeah, you push down on the pedal, you shoot forwards. You know, on the Revolt and the Tri-Ban, there's still some flex in there in the aluminium. The bottom bracket's a bit smaller, isn't it? It's not nearly as efficient. Still fantastic bike, don't get me wrong. I still ride the Tri-Ban round town. It is a fantastic bike. But depending on what you're looking for, carbon fiber does offer some advantages, doesn't it? Yeah, so with adventures in mind, maybe I should be looking down the gravel bike route. But then I just think about the Giant and I think how many miles I've actually ridden on it, and actually it's a fantastic bike. Have I become attached to it? Emotionally. No, I think everything I've done up till now, it has been the perfect bike. But maybe if there was some big adventures, challenges ahead, it might just make it a little bit tougher to complete them. Obviously I have a Merida Sculpture Endurance, this bike, which I absolutely love. I think it's fantastic. So should I be looking at a Merida Silex in carbon fiber? Of course, I have the luxury of being able to go for the cheapest carbon fiber version and get all the benefits and put my bits on. I've got the 12-speed 2x GRX which I upgraded on the Giant at Christmas. Yeah, so that's only a few months old. That would easily go on there. Mechanical, easy to fix. Got the close ratio of 2x. Yeah. See, the thing is, the carbon fiber Silex starts entry level with the 10-speed GRX, which is fine, not a problem. But then the next one up, which I don't think gives you a better frame and fork, is 1x GRX. Well, I'm not really interested in 1x, but would 1x GRX be good enough to go on the Giant for the you know, the social rides and that? Would I even use the Giant if I got myself a new bike? Probably not, would I? I'm not very good at selling bikes though, so I do have to keep in mind from this day forwards, every time I buy a new bike, I have to store them somewhere, because I'm just no good at selling, not interested in selling. Maybe I should donate them. There is a local bike charity. I've had my use out of them. I've had my money's worth. It's not going to happen yet, is it? It's on the back burner. I'm definitely not looking to buy a new bike anytime soon. But it is there. I am thinking about it, which means it probably will happen at some point. We shall see. I've got to be careful here, because they probably will slow down if something comes the other way. And something is coming the other way, but this bit's uphill, so no problem. Oh, see, that's fatigue. That was slow up there. That's it, I just looked at my average. Nearly 19 miles an hour. No wonder I'm feeling it. Oh well, that puts a whole new perspective on things. 18.5 is that? Wow. Can't make out if that's a 5 or an 8. Old man vision, you see. Right, so that puts a whole new perspective on the legs. Doesn't it? Yes. Oh, stop it. You see, I'm pushing now. So let's just relax. What am I on? Heart rate 139. Right, careful. Straight. Whee! And here we are. This is what happens. That's 18.6. Right, well, I've got lots of work to do in the garden today, so let's relax. Oh, God. I suppose they've made room for themselves. I didn't really feel like there was room between me and the van, but they obviously thought different. God, they're going. Wow, for a moment I thought he was going to go for it. Wow. Okay, everyone's stopping. Oh, look at that, what a difference. Right. Oh, school time, isn't it? That's right, everyone's in a hurry. I will go round by the school. Whee! Very slowly and carefully. Right, what's the van going to do? Oh, he's on his phone. So the Mercedes is waiting for him. He's sat there texting, half out on the road. And here we go. You know. What is it about dropping the kids off at school? Turns everybody into a Stig Blomqvist. Right, take it easy. Right, 9 o'clock nearly. Of course, that is one of the advantages of early morning rides. A lot less stopping, slowing down, higher averages. Woo! First touchdown in a while, isn't it? Bloody love roundabouts. There we go. 2, 3, 4. Always careful through here because shops, kids, crossroads. Okay, all good. Okay. Oh, there's something turning in, but either way back yet. Look out your window. Good lad. No chance of hearing my bell in this bin. Okay, I think it's time, don't you? Yep. Okay. I suddenly decided I really like this new position. No. Forget the numbers. I know how I feel right now. Until I do a few more rides, I can't be sure, can I? In fact, this is going to be a good test because I am now definitely into the wind. The other thing to remember, of course, well, I don't know, I'm not wearing winter bibs, I'm not wearing heavy waterproof socks, heavy winter boots. I've got two lightweight sort of jerseys on top a thin underlayer and a short sleeve sort of road top, if you like. So there are reasons why I might be a bit quicker today. I mean, up till now, it's been winter gear, flappy raincoat, you know what I mean, gravel shirt, which is now flappy. It wasn't once, it is now. So I suppose everything has a small effect. Christchurch CTC. They're always out. 3 times a week at least. All clear behind, which is good. Not today, Mr. Policey Man. Ah. Oh! Right. 2,400 calories burnt so far. 50 miles. Come on, up we go. Right, all clear again. Okay, all clear. I think I'm crossing the finish line too early. I'm thinking about food and what I'm going to have for breakfast. I'm thinking eggs, toast, baked beans. Yeah, protein, carbs, bit of fat in the egg, obviously any butter. I put on the toast. We'll see. Oh! Oh yeah. Do I go round? Yes. Let's do that. Bit naughty, but let's do that. I don't usually go this way, but I don't want to be faffing around with Highford Bridge and the crossings at the hospital. You know, it's gone 9 o'clock, so this should be pretty clear now. Yeah, stick it in the comments. It's bumpy along here. But the endurance frame and 32mm tyres are doing their job. It's not too jarring. Now they're still red. Good. Oh dear. Of course, the disadvantage along here is you've got the traffic coming towards you. So of course, their wake is pushing you backwards all the time. On the road there, you can really get a good tow. Got to keep looking ahead, because you get plane spotters and that out here. They can be up against the fence and then the next minute they just step out into the pavement. But of course, you can see them. You just got to keep looking ahead. Don't look down. Right, heartbeat. What's that? 146. That's not a bad effort along there, is it? Right, bike up. Okay. Right, what have we got? Oh, look at that. That's a shame. Thought I was going to get a rest for a minute. Oh, well. No rest for the wicked. I usually find actually as long as I don't wind up too fast, it's absolutely no problem. Won't hear that. Careful. No, we're good. Yeah, so as long as I don't sort of sprint away, everything's good. Just wind up gradually. Right, workers on the pavement. What we got? Shit. Go on, go on, go on. Perfect. Get back on here. No, something might come out of there. We'll get back on here. Right. Yeah, get on the road. Woo! Headwind! This is a shared path here. But it doesn't tell you where you're supposed to go here. I mean, everybody does ride along here. Ideally, I want to be on the road. Oh well. This is where we should be, isn't it? Oh dear, that headwind. It's not much, it has to be said. It's not like the winds we have had. Have I told you how much I love roundabouts? Yeah, it's not much of a headwind, but at 20 odd mile an hour it is, if you know what I mean. Slow, gentle climb up to Red Hill, Hensbury Park. Relax. Funny, isn't it? Every time you get the bottle out, there's a hole or a drain to miss. Come on, nearly there. Yeah, middle of the cassette, I'm not doing bad. Here we go. Back in my neck of the woods, as it were. Come on up to the top. And this is where the average speed starts to plummet. Back in the traffic. Lights, he's on his phone, so I'll take his space. Serves him right. But we actually got back into town pretty well, didn't we? Not too many hold-ups. Yeah, I feel quite the same actually. Let's do this. Oh well, never mind. Better than going down Wimborne Road anyway. Nearly there. All downhill from here. Average says 18.8. Yes, it does. So we've gone up a bit, but the truth is, when it uploads onto Strava, it always gets smoothed out a bit. So we'll see what's what. I'm calm about it, whatever it says. That was a good strong ride, good workout. And if you've joined me this far, well done. Thank you for riding along with me if you're on your trainer. Got that turn in, it's good. Forge Garage, give them a call if you need your car servicing or repaired. That's about all I've got to say really. Yeah, come along and join me on the next one.